What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Team Member Perspective podcast show. My name is Coulter, your host, former top producing insurance sales team member of 6 years, writing auto, fire, life, and health, and really figuring out how to sell the life insurance and the health insurance products at a high level consistently, all as a team member. And that's really what this podcast is about. Team Member Perspective is documenting how I did it, mindsets that I had, different sales processes, different strategies, where to go to write life insurance based on specific roles. Maybe you're in a new business role, maybe you're in a service role. We teach team members nationwide on how to sell life insurance with every interaction with both customers and prospects. So that's what this podcast is meant for, is to help you team members that are in the fight, that are on the front lines, that are taking all the rate increase calls, that are over-delivering for your customers, that are in the fight to sell more and have a more fulfilled role, in the fight to protect people's financial futures. This podcast is really meant for you guys. So I hope that you find something today that can help you get to a whole new level. I'm in this for the transformation, not the information. And I find myself every single morning listening to someone that is where I want to go or has gone where I want to go. And that's precisely what I want to talk a little bit about today. And it's really mindset. And mindset, it's a word, and I believe that the words that we use matter, right? And so mindset is just so overused. It's like the chewed gum that everybody puts in the mouth and, oh, this is already chewed gum. It's so overused that I don't think we really try to internalize what it actually means, okay? Now, I believe that mindset is everything. I believe that when I was a team member, when I first started, coming from a door-to-door sales space, having this mindset and this confidence that I was going to sell life insurance at a high level, that I was going to do whatever it took for me to do that, I knew that I was going to be able to figure it out. And it was all of my mindset. Now, I've got coaches in my life. I'm part of coaching programs. And just last night, I had a recorded training in my ears from one of my coaches. Keaton Hoskins, The Muscle on Instagram. Go check him out. This guy's living a life that I hope to live one day. And he's doing what I'm doing. He's been where I want to go. And so that's why I find value in him. But he had on a guest, Sean Whalen, right? Lions Not Sheep. Probably know the guy. And this was really the first time that I really heard Sean, but I appreciated the message he shared with the group. And it was around burning the boats. So I want to recount that as best as I can and really talk about how this really was a mindset that I had as a team member. It was the same mindset that I had as a door-to-door salesman. It's the same mindset that I operate right now in that of burning the boat. So what does that mean? Where this came from, the story, this analogy, it originated from Cortez, okay? It was a general of an army, and they were on this island, and they had their boats, which was really their only escape route to get away from this army that was closing in on them on this island, right? So consider it the only escape is to get on these boats and flee. And okay, Cortez made an order to burn the boats. He told them to burn the boats. And people were like, why do you want to burn the boats? That's literally the only way out. He said, burn the boats. So they burnt the boats. Cortez took his team to battle. They burned the boats. They basically said, that's not an option for us. The only option for us is to fight. The only option for us is to go head to head with these people and fight. That's our only option in this thing, okay? Because Cortez, this general, led his army in that way and made that call to burn the boats, they ended up defeating this army and winning, okay? So Sean talks about burning the boats in our lives. And I want to talk about burning the boats in your role as a team member, in your life. Okay, so you're a team member. Let's talk about what the boats are, okay? What does it mean to burn the boats in your role as a team member? Here's what I think it means, okay? And I'm going to go back to when I was first a door-to-door salesman, okay? I get out to Tulsa, Oklahoma. I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to talk to people. My first couple days in, like 4 days in, I didn't sell a single thing, but I had knocked on hundreds of people's doors. I didn't sell a single thing. So I remember in my mind thinking of all of the escape boats that I had. And that was the mindset that I had going into this first year as a door-to-door salesman was, worst case scenario, I'll just come back home and I'll get a job. Worst case scenario, this. Worst case scenario, that. And in my mind, I had all of these escape boats, right? All of these boats that I could hop on if it didn't work out for me, right? I was giving myself outs in my mind. And I remember because I had that mindset going into this thing, I almost went home. I almost quit 4 days in because I hadn't sold a single thing. But I remember, I'm very grateful. I don't know how this happened, whether it was me, something that I heard earlier that day from my sales manager, from a different rep, or whatever it was. I don't know what it was. But I remember finding myself thinking about all these escape boats and feeling down on myself, feeling bad for myself, having this victim mentality that, oh, I can't sell. I'm in a bad area. I don't have any leads. No one's giving me referrals. All of those negative things in my mind, really thinking, man, maybe this isn't really for me. I remember thinking those things, but I remember catching myself about 4 or 5 days in, thinking like, what are you doing, dude? You're playing a victim role. You're playing an absolute victim role. And because you have all of these outs, you're not actually committed to figuring this thing out. And I decided, you know what? I can't commit right now. Just the state of where my mind was. Like, guys, you got to imagine getting put into Tulsa, Oklahoma, an area that you don't know. You're sweating your guts out. You don't have any friends out there. Your family's all back home. And you're dropped off in an area told to, hey, figure it out. Here's your sales slicks. And remember all the training we did, right? You're really basically expected to just figure it out on your own, right? You're given a couple streets that you've got maybe 50, 60, 70 houses in, and you're only making money if you sell these people a security system, right? And anyways, I just remember really thinking of like, man, like maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should go home. And I was pretty close to throwing in the towel and going home. But like I said, when I sat down, I was like, what are you doing, dude? Come on, figure this thing out. Like at least commit. And so I decided I'm going to give it till the end of the week, which gave me like 3 days in the weekend. And if I don't sell anything, then we're going to revisit this. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. But from now until then, go and figure it out. And I was using my past experience of really understanding that, look, you learned to get good at baseball, but you weren't good naturally, right? If you can learn that, why can't you learn? And so I remember just committing and sticking through it. And I decided, you know what? For the next 3 days, I'm going all in, right? And I realized if I truly want to go all in, I got to start working smarter. Obviously, what I'm doing is not working, so I've got to train. I've got to get around people that are having success, and I've got to pick their brains. I got to figure out what they're doing. And so I go home, and that's what I start doing. I immerse myself in this training. The next morning, I wake up, I role play, I immerse myself in training, and I prepare myself mentally to go out and crush that day on the doors. And in my mind, I was like, look, you just got to get one under your belt. Just get one sell, get one. And I went and I committed with that mindset. And for those 3 days, like I burned the boats. Like I didn't have in my mind that it wasn't even an option to go home. I was committed. I was fully immersed. And what happened is I figured it out. I ended up selling 5 alarm accounts in that weekend. Okay. And to give you an idea, that made me more money in 3 days than I had made back at home, like 2 to 3 months. And so that expanded my brain. The dimensions of my brain changed that first week in sales. And I realized, holy cow, I can actually do this. And I started to become confident. And I was fairly successful my first year as a rookie. To whereas the next year I got recruited by a company to go out and sell, but also manage and take a team. Okay, so now I was tasked with selling, but also helping empower my other reps to sell as well. And we did really well, right? We did extremely well, okay? But I remember that second year, I had that mindset going into the year. We're going to figure this out. We're burning all of the boats. It's not an option to just throw the towel in and go home. Like that is not an option. We are going to figure this out. I'm going to learn how to sell a lot more than I sold last year, and I'm going to teach my people how to sell. Okay. And we went through ups and downs. Like I had reps that we'd recruited that went home and just it wasn't working for them. But we ended up making it through and having a really successful summer. Okay. Now, as a team member, okay, and this is where I want a lot of you to really think about this and evaluate your mindset, because self-improvement starts with self-awareness. If you're not aware of what you're doing that's working and maybe what you're doing that's not working, and maybe what you're not doing that you should be doing, if you're not aware of those things, then it's nearly impossible for you to improve them. All right, real quick, exciting news. We finally have the Win the Week weekly planners available for insurance team members. If you're in a sales position and you're in the insurance industry, I want you to know you've got unlimited things that you can do every single week, but you've got a limited resource of time. So what you choose to work on matters. My question is, are you using strategy, or are you just flying by the seat of your pants hoping that you hit your goals, hoping that you end up working on the right things? Listen, if you want to get to that next level, if you want to sell more policies than you ever thought possible, if you want to make more money and have that bigger, fatter paycheck, start planning out your weeks. Take time every day, set aside to review your last week, hold yourself accountable, stop waiting for your agent to do that and just do it, right? Be proactive with your accountability, but then also make plans, make adjustments along the way so that you make sure that you're spending your time the best way, the most effective and efficient way possible, and you will work on the right things. And when you work on the right things, you'll start to sell more. So again, Win the Week weekly planner for team members is available. Check the comments below for a link to purchase, and we'll get you back to the training. Think about your role as a team member. Evaluate where your mindset is. I'm going to talk to you about my mindset as a team member and how it helped me and maybe how it limited me early on. But these are things that I've had to be continued, like I've had to learn over and over again. And so if I can help you guys learn this lesson, maybe quicker than I had to learn it, or maybe help you at this point in your role as a team member, at this point in your life, to learn this, to help you, like it'll all be worth it to me. Okay, so I start out as a team member, and mind you, I've got all this sales experience. Coulter's got this confidence. He can sell now, right? I'm hired on as this hybrid sales service role. I'm helping out with service, and I'm writing all lines of insurance: auto insurance, fire insurance, life insurance, health insurance. The auto and the fire insurance happened for me fairly quickly. And I quickly realized, like, it really is, if I have a lot of people to quote, I'm going to write policies. There's not a lot of quote unquote selling that needs to happen. That's how I felt about the P&C sell, okay? Now, life insurance and health insurance, it was different. This is where I really relied on my skills that I had learned in door-to-door sales to start to learn how to sell life and health insurance, right? Now, mind you, door-to-door sales, I have some advantages that I didn't always have as a team member in insurance. In that, I knock on your door, I can see, you can see me. It's a lot harder for you to want to slam the door in my face if I'm in person at your door than it would be for you to hang up the phone if I'm on the other end of that line, right? And for me as a salesperson, see your body language. I could see how you were receiving me and my message. I could also see your facial expressions, okay? That allowed me to really understand and gauge if you were listening to me or not, or if this is something that might pique your curiosity, and understand what points of what I was talking about would interest you. Like, I had those advantages in person, as well as their tonality, how their voices, like how they're saying certain things and what they're saying, okay? Whereas insurance, I realized I was starting to do majority of my stuff over the phone, which over the phone becomes a little bit more difficult because you can't see the person. You can't see their body language. You can't see their facial expressions. The only thing that you can really use to interpret how they're receiving you is what they're saying and how they're saying it. There were some different nuances that I had to learn early on, but as I got into the role as a team member, I didn't have the plan to get into insurance. I just didn't. I remember I was in college, and someone from MassMutual came and they talked to our class and talking about financial planning. They're talking about this internship, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I want to do that. And so I remember I went and interviewed for this internship, and they said, look, we'll give you the internship. You just got to get your life and health license. So I was like, awesome. I go and get my life and health license in about a week, and I'm ready to hit the ground running with this internship. But I remember I had met with a financial planner that was in my area that was really successful, because that's what I wanted to do. And I remember telling him that I got this internship with MassMutual, yada, yada, yada. And he's, look, if you really want to do the financial planning of what you just talked to me about, what kind of I do, I don't know if that's going to be a good move for you. And so anyways, I ended up backing out, didn't take the internship. But I remember I was like, I've got this life and health license. What do I do with it? And the only people that I really knew that with insurance was one of my buddies that I had done door-to-door sales with. He was working for an insurance agent in our town. And so I approach him. I'm like, dude, I've got this life and health license. Do you think I could work for you? The agent brings me on. I then get my P&C license. He hires me on as commission only. And I remember sticking with this, and really the agent that I was fortunate to have worked with became a big mentor for me in my life. I saw the life that he had created for himself and his family, from what he came from to what he built with this vehicle of being an insurance agent. And so I remember I held on to that my first little bit, and I was like, I want to be an agent. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to create the same life that you've created for yourself and your family, right? And I saw that this could be a great vehicle for me. From that moment on, it was probably year 2, okay? And year 1, guys, I wrote maybe 10 life apps. Year 2, I think I still only wrote 10 life apps, but that's when my mindset started to change a little bit. That's when I decided I'm going all in and I'm going to figure out this team member role, because in my mind, that was a prerequisite for me to being a successful agent, right? Which was my goal at the time. Like, I need to learn how the business works from this level so I can help the people that I bring on at this level be successful in their role. And insurance is a complex space. It's like a foreign language. Learning all the systems, like, it took me a little bit to get comfortable with all that. But also learning how to sell insurance, an invisible product, doing it over the phone, those different nuances took me a minute to figure out. But I remember my 3rd year, we went into this like Hall of Fame group for team members, which is really just a friendly competition for the year specific to life insurance. And so we get enrolled in that. And I remember that was my first year in this group, right? And I remember thinking, you know what? If I really want to become an agent, I've got to make a name for myself. I've got to be known for something. And I'm going to figure out how to sell life insurance. I'm going to be number 1 in this group. Even though I sold 10 life apps last year, I'm going to figure out how to be number 1 this year. I'm burning all of my boats. It's not an option to leave, even if it looks greener on the other side. I'm burning all of my boats. Right now, I'm focused on selling life insurance at a high level and being the top life producer in my state. That was my goal. I burned all the boats, all the other options of not doing it, and I fully committed to doing it. I finished my 3rd year and I wrote 3 life apps. I was number 1 by I had produced maybe about 60 policies more than the next person closest to me. Okay. That was really cool. I then developed this confidence that I continued to take, and that was my mindset. I'm going to continue to prove myself. I'm burning all of these boats because this is what I want to do. And because I did that, I believe that mindset of burning the boats to really fully commit to producing at a high level helped me to write 231 life apps my 4th year, 251 life apps my 5th year, and over 200 life insurance applications through September of my last year. Now that I'm not necessarily a team member anymore selling insurance, I am now fully committed into the business that I have created. I have burned all of the boats. I do not have a plan B. I am figuring out how to make this business grow and become really big. I don't have plan B because I want to be fully committed. I saw how this worked for me as a door-to-door salesman. I saw how this worked for me as a team member to learn how to sell. I know that if I burn all of the boats, if I do not have a plan B, the only option is to figure this thing out. And I believe, because I've seen it in my life many times, I believe that if I continue to show up, I burn the boats, I put in the work every single day, I learn to get better. I believe that if I continue to do that over a long enough time horizon, I will eventually be successful. I will get to where I want to go, or I will quit before I do. I truly believe that. And so for you team members, I don't care if you want to be an agent. I truly don't. I don't care if this is a stepping stone for you. I don't care where you're at mentally of what you want to do with your life, but I will say, burn the freaking boats. Stop thinking about all of the outs, all of plan Bs that you have. Get rid of those plan Bs and figure out how to sell insurance. I will say that I would argue that the greatest skill that you can learn is learning how to sell. So if you don't feel like you are selling at the level that you're capable of, or you don't feel like you have the skill of sales, burn the freaking boats and learn that skill. Again, it doesn't matter if your end goal is to be an agent, if you want to continue to be a team member, if this is a stepping stone to something else. Your ability to develop this mindset of burning the boats, getting rid of every plan B right now that you have in your mind, and just fully tackling this team member role head on and learning to sell insurance, specifically life and health insurance, I'm telling you, the skill that you will learn will pay you so much money in whatever you do, whether you stay a team member, This is an incredible opportunity. Your agents aren't telling you, hey, you can only make this much money. There is no cap on what you can make. That is the role that you have as a team member. But if you have all these different plan Bs of, oh, there's this other software job, there's this job, I need to be an agent, and you have all these plan Bs, you're not going to fully commit to this role and you're not going to figure it out. You're not going to have the success that you could have if you would just burn every boat that you have. Like, fully commit to this thing. And I promise you, like, if you can just do that, you will make more money than you ever had. The skills that you will learn will pay you for the rest of your life. But that mindset is what I see top producers share. They burn the boats. There's no other option. Like, they're going to figure this thing out. Okay. And so as I, have experienced that in the door-to-door space as a team member, now running a business, I have seen that when I have that mindset, I figure things out. I'm not a victim. I'm going to figure things out because I don't have any other option. I'm not giving myself an out. Okay. Anyways, that's a cool little concept that I was able to put together with what I've experienced in my life. And my hope is that maybe after listening to this, you can think of a few different boats that you have that you're going to burn, that you're going to light on fire, because you're going to figure this thing out, right? The opportunity right in front of you, you're going to figure out. Okay. And as I have intentionally put myself where my feet are, where I've been, where my feet are, and just done the best, tried to bring the most value and learn the most, that is when I see the results come as a byproduct of that. And so develop the mindset of, I'm burning the boats. There's no other options for me. I am going to figure out how to sell life insurance, and a lot of it, because it's only going to set me up for the rest of my life. Appreciate you guys. And to end, if you're a team member and you want to get to the next level and you want to go faster, get around people that have gone where you want to go or are where you want to go. Join the Team Member Perspective. You'll learn from top producing team members nationwide of how they're writing 36 life insurance applications in a month. Yes, we had a team member do that last month. Team members that are writing $15,000 in annual life insurance premium every month. Like, those are the people you want to get around and learn from them. And agents, get your team members around top performers, whether it's in their ears, whether they're watching them via Zoom, in rooms with them, because you become the people that you spend the most time with. You guys know that. But I also believe that you become the people that you listen to the most, that you're surrounded with the most. You'll start to have the energy that they have, the passion that they have, whether it's a lot of passion or a little passion. Whoever your team members are around the most is who they start to think, who they start to act like, and the results they start to get, just like those people. That is what we do, the Team Member Perspective. We are very intentional on helping you, the team member, get to that next level in your production. Develop the skills, learn the recipes that you can use to actually get there. We break it down. It's if you come with us, if you join us, we will ensure that you do not fail. We are committed to your success. We don't take that lightly. So if you want to connect with us, check the description below. Would love to chat. And if not, no problem. We'll get another episode out in the next few days. Enjoy the day. We'll catch you next time.